Hello everyone, this is Pascal. I'm going to go over now how to do the DLL sideloading play. So first what we're going to do is make sure that the remote host is set up correctly. Something that we can do to check and see if we have proper permissions on the Notepad++ updater folder. If we are setting up this machine, we can check to see what the current permissions are with get ACL dot and format list. Pipe it to format list, and we can see we want to check what the built-in users has. Unless we're administrator. If we're administrator, we have pretty much full access and full control over this current directory. But if we're a basic user, we want to pay attention to anything that says built-in users or anything that says built-in / or maybe it's referencing our specific user itself. So in this case, the users only have read and execute and synchronize. So let's say if these permissions were not right. Say they were very insecure, such as maybe giving full control, which is what we're doing here, to the built-in users. So now rerunning this command, we see that now built-in users have full control over the updater directory. So our basic user here, also rightfully named basic, is gonna we're gonna win RM into the system with him. And this user is not an administrator, but he's going to cd to program files x86. Of course, I think I need to space that, and then we're going to cd notepad ++ / updater, and we find our gup, our libcurl DLL, which is our target DLL, and we're going to just, because we are maybe not familiar with what the current ACLs are, we're going to get the current access control list for the directory, run it through format list, and see what the output is. We see as basic users, we have full control. And we know that we're a basic user, so let's go ahead and make use of this. We're going to go ahead and run our upload command. And in this current directory that I have my libcurl DLL, my payload, which is a Metasploit bind shell to bind to 1337 when it gets executed on the remote host, and then the proxy or the original libcurl DLL ran into a temp file. The proxy, is this libcurl DLL, which then will execute payload DLL and temp, which was the original libcurl DLL. We're going to upload all of those. So first we're going to do files, and then I'm going to transfer over this guy. So it's just going to upload this to the updater directory. We're going to do another upload for files, and then payload.dll. Upload files libcurl.dll. And all of those should be uploaded. We can check this with a simple dir command or ls. And we can see that libcurl's there, payload is there, and temp 6862 is there. This can be easily executed to figure out if the basically we can execute and trigger this payload by just running /gup.exe, and it should be running in the background. Now we have our running shell. Now of course this is a bind shell, so we're not catching anything yet. So how do we check and see if this is actually existing? Well, we can either use PowerShell's get net TCP connection to make a query, or we can just use netstat NATO find string 1337. And it doesn't seem like it is listening at the moment. Let's double check here. Let's see what's going on. We see gup is running here from wimprivhost. So there is gup running. And that means we should have a shell being executed. So that is interesting. But what we can also check is to make sure, at least, let's do sanity check here. Netstat AON or NATO, and do find stir 1337. We still don't see it here. So maybe this didn't get copied over correctly. Well, here's also something that we didn't do. We didn't back up libcurl. So we want to make sure actually that we copy that over correctly, or that we back up this libcurl that was right here, because we don't want to just overwrite it. So we'll move libcurl. Actually, let's verify this real quick. Well, it's lsla files libcurl, and we'll see this was 449536 bytes. Sometimes it gets a little off, but let's move libcurl.dll to libcurl.dll.back, and then we'll re-upload libcurl.dll and let it kind of just move over there. And there we go. So yeah, it was a little different, and it was because it already existed before. So we want to make sure we also back this up so we can let the blue teamers easily restore it later. Easy fix. It's not a big deal. But what we can do is we can rerun gup.exe, and we can double check find stir again, and we see that now it is running. So we want to make sure that that's the right payload, and keep in mind how big it is, and make sure we just move the original DLL so WinRM will actually allow us to overwrite that file. Now what we can do is we can use Metasploit, our MSF console here. We'll start it up in quiet mode. And what we're going to make use of is the exploit multi-handler, which is just your general purpose handler. We're going to load that up with the payload Windows interpreter bind TCP. And we're just going to set it to point it at the target host. So for this case, our target host, if we do a quick IP config, is 192.168.152.11. When we use exploit multi-handler, set payload to Windows interpreter bind TCP, set our host to that IP address, and set L port to 1337. We're going to run this, and it should attempt to send a second stage to the listening shell. And we got a Meterpreter session 1 open. And we can check our sessions by running sessions, and we see that we have Meterpreter x86 Windows executed and open. Now, because this is not an administrator user, as far as elevation of privilege, that's going to be a different thing you might have to go through, but this is how you get the initial shell. And for cleanup, it's as simple as going back into your initial shell that you had here and doing a delete on libcurl.dll. Well, it is running, so we want to kill that process first. So when we're in our shell here, we can go to sessions 1, exit, and it'll kill that. So now we should be able to do arm. Oh, no, maybe not. We will probably have to do a PS. So we'll do a PS and find stir gup. And we want to kill both of these. I believe the first value is PID. What is it? Process. So SIID. Yeah. So it's going to be 5028. So we will kill 5028, kill 5088. And now we should be able to remove it. Cool. We'll also remove payload.dll and temp6862.dll. Then from here, we just move libcurl.dll.back to libcurl.dll. And now your directory is back to the same way it was, and we're cleaned up and we're out of the machine. Well, at least minus this WinRM. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps clears up a little bit of things, and it's a lot quicker than the other video. I know it's still a little bit, but wanted to explain a couple nuances. But without anything else, you guys have a wonderful day, and feel free to ask any questions in the Discord if you do have any. I am free most of the time. Thank you all for watching.